And after 2 years in court, by the way, for those who have had family or friends picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement since 2017, you will know one thing. When you get picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in New York City, the New York area, okay, you are not getting bail. Every lawyer knows that. Okay, as a matter of fact, they just came out with statistics. Only 4% of people who were picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement got bail from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which means 96 out of 100 people arrested by immigration sits in jail. Every immigration lawyer knows that in New York City. That doesn't mean they don't get out. What that means is when you get arrested by immigration, there's an immigration ICE officer who's assigned to your case, who has to make a determination whether or not you're entitled to bail. Bail is supposed to be based on, do you have potential relief from removal? Mm-hmm. Do you have family ties in the United States? Do you pose a threat to security in the local area? And it doesn't matter what the person was arrested for by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that nobody got bail. And then an immigration lawyer would have to be hired, wait for a bail redetermination hearing before an immigration judge, where an immigration judge would issue bail. Those bail redetermination hearings were taking months and months and months. So sometimes people would sit in jail for 2, 3, 4 months before they got a bail hearing. Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out that according to the New York Civil Liberties Union and the Bronx Defenders office, which is a low-cost or free legal service for criminal people who are detained for local criminal crimes, said that they sued ICE because they had a secretive, illegal practice of blocking the release of all New York area immigrants, no matter what was presented to them.
Whoa.
They said federal law requires ICE officers, this is what I said, to make individualized custody determinations to assess whether a person should be released. Since 2013, the agency has used a risk assessment tool that considers factors like a person's family ties, connections to the community, time in the country, blah, 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 just like I said. Now, it offered one recommendation after it was put into this risk assessment computer program: no bond. Every time you would put in the information, it would come back, no bond, and the immigration officer said, okay, sorry, no bond.
Wow.
Well, the result was a plummeting level of release for people considered low risk by the federal government. Now, groups said in March 2020 lawsuit, there was a lawsuit started in March 2020, that while ICE released 47% of the people in the category from 2013 to 2017, the number dropped to 4% from 2017 to 2020. Who was the president between 2017 and 2020?
The pumpkin.
It was the pumpkin. How did all of a sudden the computer program, the analytical program to determine whether or not you could get bond change from 47% to 4%? Seemed very odd even to the layman, right?
Very suspicious.
So there was this lawsuit by the New York Civil Liberties Union. They were also joined by the Bronx Defenders office.
It's horrible.
And there is now a settlement that Immigration and Customs Enforcement will get rid of that analytical program that the Trump administration put in. They're going to go back to the old program where at least 47% of the people were released on bond who had low risk to the community, low risk of not showing up. If you have relief from removal, you're married to a U.S. citizen. You've been here for a long period of time. You have family that would have hardships if you were deported. Mm-hmm. Those are people who want to show up to court to clear their name and get their green card and not run.
Right.
The settlement says that requires that all immigration officers complete documentation reflecting their individual assessments of each individual person, and each immigration officer must go through new training on the terms of the settlement. So now we are expecting, at least in New York City, that people who are detained by ICE will be able to get bond without having to sit in jail for months and months and months waiting for a bond redetermination by an immigration judge. So that's some good news.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.